Welcome everyone. I've got Tanya Benlow here with me as well, and we're talking everything about conscious water and how wonderful the Kangen water is, and we're talking about that tonight. Also, it's so important that we drink pure, water for ourselves, quality water. Yes, chin chin. Can't see it. I've got this thing behind me, and every time I move, everything moves with me. I just want to talk about first that, in my business and all my passion for all these last 20 years has all been around raising consciousness for the planet and for humanity or people. And I've been doing that through self-development work and frequency healing and sound healing. So, yeah. I've announced myself as the frequency queen. So I love to talk about everything that will raise our frequency. And one of those things is water, because, we're 70% made up of water, and so is our planet, 70% of water. So it makes sense that we're actually going to put into our body stuff that is water that's actually absorbed properly, rather than just letting it flush through and not even connecting with our body. So I always like to get the best products whatsoever that I can get in my life, and also to share with other people. One of the other ones that I've been doing in the last few years is the Healy frequency device, and I know that Angie's on tonight, and also Tanya has that as well. I wouldn't go a day without that. That has really helped everybody that's come on board and bought one for themselves, for their health and well-being. And it's the same with the Enagic Kangen ionized water. And when I first heard about this, because I've been friends with Tanya for a few years, but when we got connected up, I realized she was doing this beautiful water, and that I could put in my kitchen, and also the Inespa shower spa. And it just resonated with me, made complete sense that, if we're having hydrogen rich, mineralized, ionized water, then obviously our body's going to resonate with that, and it's actually going to, become full of vibration and high frequencies within it. So it really completely connected with me. And we can't survive without water, can we? That's the one thing that we need, and we need it to be conscious and help us. Like what we have, our skin is our biggest organ, so, of the whole body, and it's the largest organ. So, it makes sense we need to put pure water over us as well in the shower. So Tanya in a moment is going to sort of take us through a talk and talk about electrolyzed and molecular hydrogen and all these whiz-bang words, which are pretty cool when you start to understand them. We're not so much sick, really, are we, as we are dehydrated. That's right, isn't it? So also, what exactly do you know is in your tap water? And do you sometimes notice that subtle chlorine scent or that taste of metal as you drink? And have you ever wondered, here's what could be lurking in your tap water? It's got all sorts of nasties and contaminants, chemicals, pesticides, heavy metals, chlorine, pathogens, microorganisms, fluoride. Of course, we know here in Australia, we have the fluoride put into our water, lead, mercury, germs, bacteria, the list goes on. What we think we're drinking is healthy, it isn't. And we just, excuse the language, we're peeing it out. And nothing is sticking, and nothing is staying in and keeping us healthy and nourished, really.
Yeah.
So our body needs alkalized water to help it stay healthy and maintain that healthy pH levels that we need in our body. And so the one thing that we're going to talk about in a minute is, have you ever tested the pH level of your water lately? Because you may be very shocked at what you're drinking, especially when people think that, they're drinking reverse osmosis. Well, yeah, that strips out everything, but it does strip out basically everything. So you don't have minerals in there as well. And the tap water, obviously we're most of us are well aware of what is in tap water, but also rainwater. People are a bit naive when sometimes, I don't want to say naive, but it's true. People think that they're drinking great water when they're drinking rainwater. Well, that's not exactly the case. So Tanya's going to talk a little bit about all of this and take us through some slides and show us a little bit more about what this wonderful machine does and all the uses that it has. And a bit of a demo. She's going to be doing a bit of a demo for you. So, yeah, so thank you for being on tonight. And I hope that, you know, that you get a lot out of this and that you think a little bit more deeply about what you're drinking and what you're showering in. Thanks, Tanya.
Thank you, Trish. Lovely introduction. And yeah, Trish and I came together, actually started going to her sound healings and things like that. So was I've had the Healy, I think, since they first came out, and was one of the things that I bought after I bought the water ionizer, because those two products just match and integrate, because we are beings of energy and electricity, and this is why the frequency with water and the Healy, the two products, you know, just go hand in hand. So I'm going to take you through a few slides, talk about a few things, and just give you some information, really basic information, because there is so much to learn. Like, well, it took me a year to learn what I know, and I've been doing this now for 6 years. So a bit of a technical water expert around pre-filtration as well as water ionizers. So I'm going to take you through some slides and just talk to you about that as we go along, just to give you a bit of an idea. So I'm just going to pop myself on the side here so you've got a bit of an idea. So we're just talking about all water isn't equal, because all water is not, whether it's rainwater, tap water, bore water, reverse osmosis, or whatever it is. So can you see the blue screen there, Trish?
Yes.
Yes, so I just want to make sure you're seeing this. So today we're going to talk about, sorry?
Just move your little side butt thing up a bit higher so I can read the...
It's sitting on the side there, is it?
Yeah. That's all right.
I can't seem to move it on this one for some reason. It's sitting in the one. I'm just going to actually take myself off the gallery. How does that sound? Hide self view. So you can't see any of us now?
That's all good. Don't worry about it. It's all right. It's only cutting off a bit of word.
So water ionizers, these are Japanese certified medical grade devices that were made in Japan in 1974, purely to disinfect hospitals. But what they found was the water not only had the capability of being able to sanitize and disinfect hospitals, it has actually been known to also, it's documented to kill all viruses in hospitals. So it's pretty phenomenal. So it is still widely used throughout hospitals all throughout the world. So it's, you know, a great product. So we're going to talk to you about commercial and home use ones as well. So this is a Japanese medical grade device that has multiple waters, not only for drinking, but takes your whole household chemical free. So what is ionized water? So ionized water, I'm just going to run you through, this is the product range in here, is understanding this device. We don't call it a water filter because it's not a water filter. It's a water ionizer. Two very, very different things. So we actually do recommend to have a pre-filter on it. So some people here in South Australia have a lot of pre-filters on their tap. That's just a water softener, which just helps the water before it comes into here. But inside the machines in here, up on the top section in the little K8, this is the flagship model that everyone buys, it actually has a filter. Everything in here is made in-house in Japan. The technology is very well protected by the company as well. And the entire components of one device here is put together by the one person from the start of the manufacturing line to the end to ensure the highest quality standards of what this device actually does. So ionized water is basically taking the water through a filter system up the top here, removing the chlorine and impurities out of the water. Now, other people will say, does it remove fluoride and does it remove other things? It will only remove chlorine and impurities out of the water, because not all water sources around the world has fluoride in it. Here in Australia, in South Australia, we also have chloramine in our water. And what that is because the chlorine that the SA water is placing in our water here is not strong enough to kill the bacteria that we should not be drinking, they started adding chloramine in it as well. So down in the Happy Valley Reservoir, at the moment, we do know they've even increased that down there because they are struggling to kill the load of bacteria that's in the water source down there. So really fascinating stuff. You wouldn't know this unless someone like yourself or came across us to learn about it. So there are over 60 uses for the machine. So we can take it not only for drinking the best water, so ionized water, I'm going to talk a little bit more around that and how it actually works, but we can use it for commercial cleaning and all sorts of things. So how does it work? It electrically charges the water through 8 titanium plates once it's gone through down the side in here. And then across the top hose here, it brings out what they call Kangen water. But Kangen water actually is the company motto called Return to Origin. So ionized water comes out of the top of the hose. So what it's actually doing, the machine actually has 2 hoses on it, and it will actually change the structure of the water. So as it's electronically charging the water, it's changing the hydrogen molecules, and it's splitting the hydrogen molecules so fine in the water that when you drink this water, you're going to absorb 80% of this water through your body rather than absorbing, say, about 17 to 20% in a normal glass of water. So really difference in understanding how hydrogen-rich water changes how we absorb through our body. So there's 3 different ones in the range. So the K8 is the flagship model because what this does is it's fully electronic and it allows us to be able to use everything with the touch screen on there. But when we drink this water, we are drinking multiple different types of water. So it creates electrolyzed reduced water, hydrogen-rich water. So everybody's hearing the buzzword on social media, hydrogen water. This is the only certified device on this in this area that actually does this. You'll see the little drink bottles that everybody's raving about, saying that this makes ionized water. We've tested some of those just recently in an expo up in Brisbane the week before last, and it actually did not change the structure of the water whatsoever. We can give you a little video, which I will show you at the end, that you can see if we want to see understanding what an ORP meter reader will do for testing the oxygen reduction potential in water. So a lot of people think that water has a lot of oxygen in it. It actually doesn't. It's actually what we call dead water when you understand what is hydrogen rich and what is antioxidant rich water, what is ionized water. So when we're electronic charging the water absorbs through our body and can heal and regenerate our organs. In the first 3 days, we do find that some people will actually detox on this water. And by drinking ionized and electrolyzed reduced water that's hydrogen rich, in the first 3 days, it can detox the body and start to balance the water, your body back out straight away. So it's quite phenomenal on what it actually does.
And that was the first thing that I noticed. It was is a detox.
Yeah. So these are the 3 different models. We're going to break those down for you in the next couple of slides. So we've got commercial ones as well. So what I'm just going to run you through some of the different, this is a water use chart, which we hand out to everybody so they can get an idea of the different types of pH waters that the machine actually does. So the machine actually makes 14 pH water all the time, but out of 2 different hoses. So out of the top hose, traditionally, it's always making the drinking water, which is 8.5, 9 and 9.5 alkalized water. Even though in the blue writing up here, it says healthy alkaline water, best for drinking, eliminates acid waste, and it has really high ORP values, which is really high oxygen in the water. So the great thing about drinking Enagic Kangen water is that it will hydrate your body beyond imaginable belief, and it will also detox your body in the first 3 days. And what it has been known to do, and this is when I started watching TED Talks and videos on it, is that actually in a very short period of time, it can actually heal the internal organs and bring them back to its original state. Hence, Kangen's motto is return to origin. This will always depend on how unhealthy your body is and whether it's something that can be repaired or not. Aka talking about the word cancer. So we don't make any medical claims here, but we are happy to send you out some medical research documents for you to actually look at. 50 years worth of medical research on ionized water, electrolyzed reduced water, and hydrogen-rich water. So they are the 3 keywords that when you do research on social media. And we're going to teach you how to do that with PubMed as well. But the main product that was used for this water was the strong pH water. So the one that you see down on the side here, this is the Kangen water that's used for disinfecting. So if you use hand sanitizer that you've purchased, from a shop or things like that, you can actually make it from the one machine. And what it's going to do is actually draw a salt-based solution out of the bottom of the machine. It is purely only used for this water up here to create the disinfectant, high sanitized water. And what we're doing is actually, this is an electrolysis machine. So if you think of a pool chlorinator, it's the same sort of thing. It's electronically charging salt water. So when you make the 2.5 water on here, it actually smells like chlorine. And the great part about it is you can put it in a spray bottle. You can safely put it on your hands as a sanitizer. I use it for gargling for sore throats. It knocks off a sore throat really fast. It's absolutely sensational. But you can see all the different things you can use down on the chart down there. Now, I'm not going to go through them all because there's a lot to go through here. The beauty water is absolutely fantastic. I just got to check. Michelle, would you mind just checking you're on mute for me? Thanks. And going through the beauty water is really great to be able to use for cleansing and toning the skin as well. This is a really soft water, and when we drink this water and bathe in it, wash in it, and put it on our skin, it's lovely and soft, because the biggest kicker here is taking the chlorine out of the water. When we use it for cooking, cleaning, and drinking, it really changes how our body actually reacts. So the beauty water is magnificent as a cleanser and toner for your skin. You can see that it has pet care in there as well, so you can use it on your animals. You can disinfect skin on animals as well. We also have a skin protocol which helps people with eczema and psoriasis as well, where they can use the disinfectant water to pull the bacteria out of the skin. They can also then, on the other side of the machine, now if you heard me say that the machine is always making 14 pH, when we press the button on the machine for the 2.5, it actually makes the 11.5 at the same time. So this means the 11.5 poured at a slow rate creates an emulsified water. It's kind of slimy feeling. It feels a bit weird, but it loves to be stored up to 30 days in the dark as well. And what it does, it emulsifies oil. So you can pour it straight on an oil spill, and I put it in my oven yesterday and I cleaned my oven. Within a couple of minutes, it lifted everything off the surface, and I didn't even need a scourer. I just needed a cloth to wipe it off. It's unbelievable to see how you take your whole household chemical free with this one machine and literally save the household thousands of dollars over the years by not buying chemicals anymore. So you can use it for lots of different things.
And I've seen one of my friends put something up, and I don't have a huge lot of stuff with stains on it, but she had her baby with all these stains on it. She used 11.5 on there to spray on it, and it totally took out all the stains.
I had a brand new white shirt we went away with, and I dropped a glass of red wine down the front of it, as I always seem to. I'm a bit of a klutz. And it sat on there for 4 days before we came home, and I did try the 11.5 on it, where it says remove stains. I was blown away. I just, every 15 minutes for a couple of hours, I just kept spraying it on there. Within a few hours, that red wine was completely gone off my wet white shirt, and I didn't even need to use preen or anything on it. And when I put it through the wash, it came out spotless. I was gobsmacked, absolutely amazed to see it.
Yeah.
So when we're doing skin protocols with dogs or animals or ourselves, even if you've been out in the shed or in the garden, you can clean your hands with a 2.5 to kill the bacteria on it before or after. The 11.5, you can use that on the skin as well. And then we use the beauty water as a cleanser and a toner for the skin, just to soften the skin and hydrate the skin. It also makes just a clean water, which is your 7 pH water up on there as well.
I was just interested also, have you tried it for, it said the neti pots there. Yes. I've been doing sinus, the thing with the cleaning the sinuses out. I haven't tried it yet, and I thought I'm just going to give it a shot. Have you tried it out, Tanya?
I haven't, no, but Dale uses, because he has a lot of sinus problems. just recently had an eye infection, a bit of a weird one that popped up on the weekend, and he just rinsed his eye out with the 2.5, and it knocked the bacteria out of the eye really fast. Because for 24 hours there, he had a bit of a half-closed eye. He looked a bit funny, and I thought maybe he was having a stroke or something. But yeah, weirdest things. You can use the 2.5 for mouth rinses. Especially even after you've had surgery. I've actually sprayed the 2.5 on surgical sites when I've had quite a lot of different surgeries, and I've sprayed it straight onto the surgical site. And because it kills bacteria, and it just heals the skin at a rate of knots. It's absolutely phenomenal to see how it actually works on your skin. And the great part about it is there is nothing in there except for electronic charged water, and that's all we're doing. So we'll just quickly move through the commercial one. The commercial one is for anybody that really basically has a large family. So I've got a girlfriend lives down south that's got 10 kids.
Oh.
That's ideal for somebody that has a big home, and lots of people where you really are going to produce large volumes of 2.5 and 11.5. The great part about the commercial one, it is a lot bigger using as in size. It's about $500 more than the K8, but for the purpose of something fairly big for restaurants, cafes, hair salons, farms are absolutely amazing to understand how this model can really produce high volumes of the 2.5 and 11.5 at a very fast rate as well. With farming and agricultural sort of things, the great component about this particular one, by producing high volumes of 2.5 and 11.5 as well, they can also clean their seed stock to get 100% yield rate out of their seed stock. They can also use the water for the 2.5 and 11.5 to kill bugs and aphids. So then we take the whole organic farming conversation to a different level for somebody who's in farming. And if the first thing we always said to somebody, if we could save you money on chemicals for cleaning your farming equipment or cleaning, something commercial, if you ever ask them what would they spend in a year, it's quite frightening. I had a chat with just a very small wheat farmer, and my first thing I said to him, what do you spend on chemicals a year? And he said 300,000. I nearly fell over. I was like, oh shit, and you're only a small farmer. And I said, if I could show you one machine that could save you potentially, I don't know, if I said it could save you 100,000, would you be interested in a conversation? And of course they say yes. So we can have so many different things we can talk to farming around this, because not only while they're spraying this on the stock to kill bugs and aphids, if they had mold and mildew on their plants, they can use the 11.5 as well to remove mold and mildew. When we use the 11.5 at home in cleaning our fruit and veggies, it removes the pesticides off our fruit and vegetables. So that will also apply for this. But the interesting thing is, I'm just waiting for mine to arrive in here. At the back of this machine, on the back corner on the top here, it actually has the enhancer tank where the salt solution sits in there. And it's just a 2 kilo bag of, table salt you buy from Coles. And I think it takes about 200 grams per couple of litres in there for every mix. So it costs nothing to actually make high volumes of the water through this one. But if you want more information, we give you a lot more detail on it. Sorry, Trish.
So that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot to learn. The Enagic is one of the most phenomenal things I've ever experienced. We'll give you, like Trish is going to give you a link so you can watch or learn a bit more about that as well. But the shower system is phenomenal. When we moved from Cairns to Adelaide, the water here is extremely hard because it's high calcium rich water here, and it's off the back of the Murray. So when you come here in South Australia, it's really hard to actually lather up a bar of soap in the shower. So when we placed ours in our shower and our bath, in our bathroom, it was really nice to shower in water that had no chlorine in it. It's really lovely and soft on the skin, and it's around about, I call it a beauty water. It's around about a 6 pH, so it's really lovely, and it has actually 2 filter systems in it. So I won't go through all that because it is really complex and a bit more science behind that one as well. But it does have 2 filter systems in it. So this is just something you would only ever purchase once in a lifetime. All of these machines and devices are fully portable. So what you see off the top of here, this round one off the top here, is actually for a bathtub. If you want to, you can detach it off the end here. And this one is for your shower. Now we have 2 in our house. We've got one that we've put in a renovated bathroom, and we actually detach both of those off there. and we had the plumber plumb all the piping in behind the walls. And this little thing here just sits on the shelf in the laundry behind the bathroom. So it's very easy to clean, just take the bottom of it off and replace the filters once a year in there. So that's nice and easy to use. But the two-pronged approach with understanding when we remove chlorine out of our shower and chlorine out of our drinking water, our body changes. Like we really actually start to feel the benefits of healing and bringing our body back to its natural state. And when you drink alkalized water, so if you want to do any research, we ask you to research the word alkalized water. So when you drink alkalized water, it returns the body back to an alkaline state. A lot of people research drinking alkaline water. There's a lot of different wording, a lot of different, things to learn. So we just want to really just give you the right information and some medical research documents if you actually want to look at this a bit further to understand what it is. So a company that's been on the market now for 50 years is the tried and testament to say that this is actually the best product on the market, and it is the only one that is a Japanese certified medical grade device. It took Enagic about 5 years to get through that. So on some companies take between 10 and 20 years to get medical grade certifications. So there are no others on the market that have this certification. There is quite a few now popping up trying to copy the technology. But what we do find is within an hour or so after the water's poured, the water's just back to normal, just flat water. So this can hold the charge up to 3 days. So it's quite a powerful machine, and because of the technology. So I won't tell you about the technology unless you're actually a distributor, and you'll know more about that in your training. So this is really just understanding it's the most powerful antioxidant machine, featuring 8 titanium dip flat plates in there. And what it is an electrolysis machine. So this creates ionized water, hydrogen-rich water, and electrolyzed reduced water. So the ORP meter readers are absolutely fantastic. So this is the future of technology, which you hear the buzzword of hydrogen-rich water, ionized water, molecular structured water, and it's a way to keep us healthy for our future. Yeah. If drinking alkalized water is the only thing you need to know that keeps your body in an alkaline state for the rest of your life, often the biggest thing is a lot of people know or think is, just come and bring us back up on here again, is knowing that what happens with us is we can be dehydrated. And when we are dehydrated, can you see me, Trish?
Yes, I can see you.
Oh, that's right. I can only see you on there for some reason. So when we often, our health professionals say to us, I went to the chiropractor today and she actually said, are you dehydrated today, Tanya? And I went, yes, I really am. But today I hadn't actually drank enough water, and she could feel that in my skull. So that was quite interesting. Now, often the common thing is when you go to donate blood, they say, have you drunk enough water today? And every doctor or health professional, naturopath you go to, they're all going to say, have you drunk enough water today? And that's going to be the issue, is when simply dehydrated often rather than being sick. So there's a lot to learn. And so I just quickly wanted to show you also, this was something I just wanted to show you that Trish has that she can share with you today, is the website. So you can see what it actually looks like. So on here we have our own custom websites, which takes you through understanding a bit more about the water. There are 3 really great videos in here which we would like you to watch, and understanding what electrolyzed reduced water is, and high in antioxidants. So the more you drink straight out of the actual device, you're drinking high antioxidant rich water. So to watch the videos in here, you do need to place your email and that in there so that you can get access to it. Naturopath Nathan is from New South Wales, and he is our in-house naturopath now. He's devoted his actual life on doing more and more research and studies, and he's trialing and testing all of this on his patients to see that how, when we go to a naturopath, we normally get given all of these horrible tasting things and different, things. Like, I do enjoy going to a naturopath now. I prefer that rather than going to a doctor, and I have found that that's been more beneficial. But Nathan, even in his last video he did with us, he talked about, he's really getting his patients off all the naturopathic stuff, and all they've had to do is change their water. So the motto is with Kangan is change your water, change your life. So, and then you'll hear 2 more videos from Annette and Lindsay Lee as well. And you'll also get the opportunity to also get a free ebook, which has all the uses. So like that water use chart you've just given you, and then you'll just learn more around it. So we would love to give you the opportunity to come in and see it and just experience it all and just see what it's all about. And so Trish, would you like to add any more on there?
No, not at all. That was all perfect and wonderfully shown. So, quite understandable, I think, for lay people like myself to learn from that slideshow. So thanks for doing that. Did you want to do your demo, or you're not going to worry about that tonight?
Oh, yes. So I bought a couple of things here just to show you today. So I often do little demos in my kitchen, or when people come over and want to see it. Now, when we set people up, now I'd love to tell you a little bit about this, because not only do you, if you purchase a product, Enagic is taking a substantial price rise, and that is because the cost of transport and logistics around the world is just getting out of control. Enagic tried to take the price rise last year and just made a decision here in Australia would leave it for 1 more year. So we have been given notification that as the 1st of June, this is going up. A K8 here in Australia is going up $880. So it's a substantial price rise. So if you have the opportunity right now is to have a chat with Trish about we can finance them if you need finance. There is interest-free finance. There's multiple finances options, and also even Oz loans here in Australia also do that. But anywhere around the world, we can finance these around the world for you as well. But the interesting thing is just purchasing one for your home gives you global distribution rights all around the world. So that is great, because just purchasing one for your home for your own use allows you that, in a year's time, or you share that with your neighbours, you can actually put an order in and you'll get a little kickback as a bonus, as we call it, a thank you money, for you to do that as well. So what we are is what Trish and I are both distributors for Enagic, and this gives us global distribution rights. And what we do, this is listed in the Direct Selling Association, and it's affiliate marketing. So you'll see all manufacturers these days moving away from selling from, shop fronts. So I went down to a company in town here called Purifies Australia, and I bought a pre-filter for my house from there. And I just see how hard he works. And, all the products he's got in his shop are exactly like this, and they're all imported from overseas. But he has to work really hard, and he has to make money to be able to support paying the rent, pay the staff, and all that kind of stuff. Whereas the Direct Selling Association nowadays allows us to promote and sell direct from a manufacturer to a person's home. So to your home, this means that this makes it simple and easy. We don't deal in products or services or nothing. We just share this like what we've just done, and you can do the same. It's pretty easy. We are always happy to have an information session with somebody that that might be interested. So I'm going to show you a water demo. So just give me a sec. Oh, I've prepared these earlier. So I have a stand station in my studio here, and I'm just going to do some pH test drops with the water. Now, often our water source, so in Adelaide, we have 4 different water sources here. When I test the water, they all come out a different colour out of the tap water, and that is because the water source is a little bit different, and the water table. Now, when it was interesting, last year we had these massive floods through South Australia, and everybody said, oh, the waters taste different. The water tasted different at that time because the minerals coming up out of the water table, people just don't think of this, is the minerals were coming further up from down under the ground up into the river source. So this is because it was so, over flooded. So the water had changed, but also SA Water had, up the ante of the bacteria in the water. So what I'm going to do now, 3 things that most people drink or when you go shopping. I've got some glasses here, so I'm going to hold this up so I can show you. One of the first things that most people might buy from the supermarket, I've got to hold this in front of me so you can see it. Actually, I'm going to take my camera off the blurred background just so you can actually see this a bit easier. One of the most common things that most people buy is, go to Coles and you buy mineral water, soda water, and things like that. any soda stream, even making soda stream with Kangen water, it's the gas that will kill it. So making Kangen water in a soda stream doesn't do it. It will actually kill the water, same as this. So I'm just going to pour some of this water in the glass and show you. And all soda waters are the same, and you just cannot literally change the structure or the color of this water. I just need to put a bit in there. And oh, I've dropped my pH drops.
You're trying to juggle it up in the air there.
I should have taken the lid off before I did this, you know. I was going to have a laugh. All right, so this is, you can see this is orange. So when we look at the chart on here, where's the camera there? You can see that that's really sitting around the low end, which is 4 pH. So this means it's highly acidic, right? So I'm just going to pop that down. And then I'm going to, just out of my drinking glass, I've got some Kangen water here. I'm going to show you this. I could better get it. What I prepared earlier. So Kangen water, when it's electronic charged, is should come up nice and purple, really purple. So that colour. Now, when we when we've got this water in here that's highly acidic, we cannot change the structure of this water no matter how much we try. So I'm just going to put this where you can see it. So with the Kangen water, I'm going to pour this in here, and you're going to see this try to change colour. It's kind of going a bit green, but it keeps going back to a yellow colour. And it doesn't matter. It goes blue and then goes yellow again. You can you can actually pour 2 litres of water in that tiny little bit that I've put in that glass. You cannot change the colour or the structure of this water because it's so highly acidic. And that's all soft drinks. Every single soft drink that's on the market. It's toxic to your body. And these are things that you don't think of, you don't know, you don't realise until you start doing pH tests, water tests. Here's another one. So I often, in my kitchen, do the water tests, and I go and get all the bottles. I used to always drink the Coles 70-cent litre, you know, big bottles. This one here, I've never bought this one before. This is, there's the brand on there. So, you know, and this is good because a lot of the time you don't know what you're drinking with these waters until you do a pH test. And look at that, it's highly acidic.
Yeah.
And people say to me, well, why is this on the shelf? There's no mandate or regulation that says that it has to be any pH or it's been tested or anything. Same thing. This will probably change because it doesn't have the gas in it from the soda water, but I can put this water in it and then you go, see, that's changed it. So that's fine. The great part about taking your Kangen water or wherever you go is I take it everywhere because I will not drink anything else because I can't stand the smell of chlorine. But if I'm sitting at a table at a restaurant and they put this in there, I can pour some of this on top and I know I've changed the structure of the water back, you know, so it tastes better. Brings the pH level up. One of the things is, this is actually changing slightly as well, going lighter colour as we speak, is that, you know, if we drink a lot of alcohol, like I do love a good wine, I love a good gin, and we have a very great neighbourhood where we do tend to party and drink a lot, is that at the end of the evening, if you do drink, you know, half a litre to a litre of this water through your body, you will hydrate your body. You tend to not get hangovers, but it also will cleanse and detox and flush your kidneys and liver while you sleep. So that is something that's really important to think about. If you do drink alcohol, is to drink this water as it cleans and detoxes and flushes your body. So yes.
And
so
the same with rainwater, because a lot of people have rainwater, and I think that's really helpful.
No, rainwater is exactly the same as this. So I have tested hundreds and hundreds of rainwater tank tests, and this is what rainwater comes out like. I was at an expo in Bundaberg a couple of weeks ago, and it was raining. We went outside and captured the rainwater, and we tested it straight out off the roof and into this as well. So rainwater is highly acidic, should never be drunk. And so I went out and spoke to a few of the tank cleaning people in South Australia. They all said the same thing. No one should ever be drinking rainwater, because not only is it coming through the Earth's atmosphere, it's picking up all the pollutants and toxins that's coming through the air. And that doesn't matter whether it's day or night, because the ozone layer and everything else that's coming through, or whatever it's coming through, is still picking up toxins and pollutions. The crap that is on our roof is disgusting.
Yeah.
If you think of all the aeroplanes that fly over, the birds, the possums, and everything else that is on there, the bacteria that is in rainwater is, you should never drink rainwater because of bacteria. Unless you have a big filter system on it and something that actually kills the bacteria, you must never drink rainwater. So I have come through one in South Australia. It's called a seagull. For the last 4 years, we've always known that rainwater requires its own pre-filtration and bore water requires its own separate pre-filtration system. So all the companies I've gone and met, I've actually, because this is what I do, I'm in the water business, I've actually gone out and met these guys, spoken to them, gone out on their site, seen their tests and the demonstrations, looked at their systems and understood why that they don't interlink. So in the 5 or 6 years I've been doing this, I always knew that there was never anything on the market, and they all say it, the guys that are making it, that there is nothing on the market that does both. But recently I went down to Purifiers Australia and found that they have a little product called a seagull. It's imported from the US. They have Australia and New Zealand distribution rights for that, so it's not sold anywhere else. And I saw all the water test results. So they actually have these now going into all the schools over Australia. The Australian Army's now implemented it, and they have little portable packs. I bought the little ones so that I can put it in the caravan, and it's portable on the back of my K8. So the great thing about the K8 is you can travel with it everywhere. I've just recently put it on my hand luggage and took it to Queensland with me. I'm planning on taking it overseas with us. I plan on, just being able to always take it with me. So it has changed my life beyond what you could imagine. I can't tell you on this actual call tonight because we are placing this video out on social media. But if you'd like to know how and why and what it did, I'm happy to share it. So just get a bit of an insight is that when you alkalize water, returns the body back to an alkaline state. So over a period of time, what that does, it reduces the inflammation in your body. Mm-hmm. So it does a lot. It has, the capacity is phenomenal. So we would love to send you some medical research documents, because what we are not allowed to do on social media is make medical claims. But we can send you out the information and have a chat with you personally and give you some more information about it. So
the seagull you were talking about, that's a pre-filter?
Yes.
And that is because I'm sure people heard you say before that it's not obviously a filtration system, and it doesn't take out the fluoride, but
I don't know about the fluoride, so I would say that it does, because you'd have to get hold of the water test results off him. Yeah. So normally fluoride does require its own single one system on it, but I can't remember about the seagull because it was not something I was worried about. Yeah. I was worried about water hardness and other things. So you need to have a chat with them. I have been referring people down there because he has a product that's very unique, and I've not come across any of it. And he was able to actually provide water test results because we were actually having a chat with the Australian Navy and looking at implementing these on their ships as well. So we really had to know our stuff and talk to them about pre-filtration systems, because the best thing is if you can place a pre-filtration system on before this, the ionizer will work so much better. Like our water here was, we thought was quite good, but once we put this on it, it took the level of the ionized water to a whole new level as well. Wow. So there's so much to learn, but just tasting it, it's so soft and it's clean, it's lovely. You hydrate on a molecular level, so you're really different. So it usually takes about 7 days for your body to move through the first stages of detoxing, hydrating, cleansing, and learning to drink. Most people don't drink 2 to 3 litres of water a day. Anything more than 3 litres a day, you're actually starting to flush all the natural minerals out of your body that your body requires. So don't know if you want to touch on reverse osmosis. That's sort of going to another whole longer conversation, but there is.
Yeah. What I understand about reverse osmosis, I think that I did see on one of the master classes or somewhere that they were saying that there is a way of actually running it through with the ionizer, with the Kangen. And because reverse osmosis does strip everything out. It's about the only thing that does
all the good minerals out of the water that we need.
But it takes the minerals out too. So it's good for getting rid of everything, but then what's that actually doing to your body?
Nothing. So yeah, it's not doing your body any good. Like my naturopath here in Adelaide actually tells people to get rid of them. And most people are actually starting to be learning to understand that they actually have no health benefit because they're taking the natural minerals out, which is in our normal tap water source that our body actually requires. And then they're adding a fake mineral additive to it, which defeats the purpose at the end of the day. So you are actually better off taking it off, put a proper, just a pre-filtration, like a water softener on it that will take some chlorine out of it. Now, a lot of people, like you asked me the other day, say, well, these things don't state they take 100% out of. And I can tell you that nobody ever will, because they don't want to be legally challenged on it. So all companies will say up to 90% or up to 99% or up to 95%. Because as soon as they say 100%, if somebody ever found a trace element of it, they can be sued. So this is the reason it is not put on there. There's a legal reason why they don't do it. So instead of asking us and saying, well, they don't say that, that's the reason why. No company ever will. And if they do, they'd be mad.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I also had a friend of mine when she came and stayed here, she was drinking the water, and she said, since I've been drinking it, I've been thirstier. Isn't it supposed to be hydrating my body? Well, I'm feeling more thirsty now. And I went, well, that just goes to show how dehydrated you are. Your body.
That's a realization. People start to realize, because this water is so good and really hydrating your body. So as you drink it, you start to hydrate all the bones, the muscles, the joints, the tissue. And like I noticed the change in the first 7 days. It was just like, whoa, for me. Because I was very unwell. And so it changed how I felt. Like, it was astronomical. Like, really on the 7th day, just took it to the next level, to understanding I wasn't drinking enough water. And when I had 2 spinal fusions back in 20 years ago, that was the biggest study, was understanding I hadn't been drinking enough water, because the spine requires a lot of water. And so yeah, well, I've seen people that I've got one lady who's just gotten her machine, and she barely drank half a litre of water a day, and now she's almost up to 2. She's only been on it for about 2 weeks. So this shows you that those that are not drinking, your body really requires 2 litres of water a day, unless you are medically issues, say chronic heart failure. So my father-in-law, Dale's dad, can only have 1 litre a day. So he has the Kangen water because he knows he can hydrate now, whereas before the other water he was really dehydrated. So now he's feeling better and he's craving the water all the time, which is good. So it takes the body to a next level of understanding what hydration is and how that really makes you feel. And when we start hydrating all the bones, the joints, the muscles and the tissue and things like that, you can feel it. Like so if you have any health issues, you're going to notice the change so quickly.
And noticing like the gut area as well, the bowels, the kidneys, everything.
The kidneys,
going to I go to the toilet a lot. It's like, oh, sure, drink 3 litres of water, I'd be sitting on the toilet nearly all day. But what actually does, the weird thing that happens is then once your body gets hydrated, it actually turns back the other way.
Yes. So here's the interesting thing, which I only probably learned about a year ago, is so the older we get, the longer it takes to rehydrate. Maybe naturopath Nate talked about this. I can't remember who told us. Is that, when we're sort of like 20, 30 years old, we're told that if you're dehydrated, have a couple of glasses of water and within a few hours, you'll be fine. But as we get to the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s, the older we get, so 60, 70 and 80, if you're dehydrated, it can take up to 3 days to rehydrate. But that's phenomenal. So it takes your body a lot longer to catch up and function. My mum had extreme severe bowel cancer. She's had 9 operations. She has nothing left down there. And one of the things was she wouldn't drink water. And it wasn't until all of this was going on with Mum I understood more around why hydration works and why our bowel needs it. Because if you're constipated, the first instance is you're not drinking enough water. If you drink plenty of water, you're not constipated. So every part of our body requires a lot of water for all of it to work properly and function properly. And, I see the way my mum is now. She now drinks 3 litres of this water a day and she feels great. She's really hydrated and everything is working properly. So,
well, I mean, we're 70% water, aren't we?
Yeah. So, when we are water, it's really important to understand why we should be drinking the right water. And I can guarantee that this is one device you'll have for the rest of your life. So it has a 5-year warranty and at 25, they're saying up to 40-year lifespan. So they haven't put that on it yet, but they're talking about it because the ones they've already got that are 40 years old, there is nothing wrong with them.
Yeah.
So if you look at how much we spend on a car, how much we spend on a house, this should be really the first thing we invest in our life, because this is going to set up our health and wellness the rest of our life. And more people are learning about it and hearing it. They're understanding it. The hydrogen water is becoming the novice conversation. But those little bottles that have the electronic light and the bubbles in it, they actually don't do anything. They're a good marketing ploy. But all the ones
pretty.
Yeah, all the ones that I know, and everyone's going, I feel great. I'm like, sure you feel great because you just told yourself you feel great. But this is a medical grade device that we know that has, like, there is doctors that have written books on it. There is TED Talks that have been written on it. Dr. Corinne Allen, who's a brain specialist, her talk goes for nearly 2 hours. That is the most extraordinary video that I've ever seen. Every time I watch it, I'm just blown away by it. There's university doctors that have done lectures and talks on it. We can give you squillions of videos to hear it and understand more around the medical and the scientific side behind it. So you can't lie about science. That's all I always say.
No, that's right. And people like to see the science because, it makes believers out of them, isn't it? Because, if you don't have the facts there and it hasn't had all the proper research, and that's what you've got to look out for all the time. Like you say, people go online and they look up, different names for Kangen and they get all this really bad wrap up. But, like if they really want to look in the research and find out for themselves, do a bit of legwork, they'd see that it's really edge.
Lovely. Well, if we finish up, we will just stop recording and then we can have a chat with those that are on the call today.
Yeah, and so next week, if you want to come on, we'll be talking about doing social media or online training with the Academy and how that all works with the TFE or the Freedom Era, and how to create your own online business, which is really, really amazing, especially if you're looking to change a job, to create legacy for your family. So we want to have a chat about that. So all interesting stuff.
You won't earn an extra few dollars on the side, so you just never know.
Not just a few dollars, a lot of dollars actually. But anyway, we'll go into that.
Extraordinary, yes.
Yeah, extraordinary life. So I'll just stop recording. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Just reach out if you want to find out any more information, and I can send you the video on the conscious water.